Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Welcome to Levels Combat Sports. Hey, how about I just clear my throat?
Wow.
You
sound like Jeremy.
Happened. Like I've been talking to people all day or something like that. That's funny. Welcome to Levels Combat Sports Podcast. I am your host, Cassandra Cousineau, otherwise known as the Sports Nisa. Jeremy Long is out in the streets again today. We don't know where he's at, and I hope the police don't have to find him before anybody else does. But we have some very special guests in the house today. Now, Tiana, you're going to have to help me with your last name. I can handle Stephanie Cook. We have the Top Rank Boxing Knockouts with us. We're going to have one more to join us, but for right now, we have Miss Stephanie Cook to my left. And across from me is former Miss Nevada, Tiana.
Tuamaheloa. It's really easy.
Tuamaheloa.
Close enough. Flash her now.
You know what? I have one of those last names, Cousineau, that people often get tongue-tied about, so I should be better about that.
No, it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm so used to it. I'm just like, just call me T.
Yeah, just T. All right. So thank you so much for coming in. You ladies are super duper busy. I see you everywhere that there's a fight happening for Top Rank. So thanks for joining us downtown. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're waiting for Christine to come and join us. But tell me first, Stephanie, how did you become a Top Rank knockout?
I get asked that all the time.
I know.
Yeah. It's like hard to explain.
I like to say my story is I was working at the Wynn, and that's also where Christine Stokes worked at the time.
Oh, okay.
And I think at the time they were looking for a blonde model. So I ended up meeting her and networking somehow, and I ended up meeting some of the owners of Top Rank as well. But it happened that I was trying to get a job in sports anyway. I was working for an MMA company at the time, and I was trying to get with a bigger company, Tough Enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We know that one.
And actually, right at the same time, Bellator offered me a contract, and then Top Rank reached out to me, so I had to choose. So it was perfect timing.
Oh, so you've got some MMA background as well. You know, Quan and I were out at UFC Apex today with UFC 248. Do you still follow UFC at all?
I do, yeah. I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of all. She's shaking her head. Yes, I do.
No, me. I don't
know.
No. Well, what is that?
Don't ask me.
No, I do. I'm very much more of a boxing fan now, but I do follow MMA still.
Now, Tiana, we have followed your journey to become Miss Nevada, and then also your journey through Miss USA. I saw that Bob Arum was very supportive of you.
The sweetest man ever.
Yeah, Bob is what,
Bobby.
82?
88.
80. Man.
I know. And
he does not seem like
well,
it
he
at
doesn't
all.
act like it either.
No.
I always say he's like the most sharp 88-year-old.
He has a better memory than me.
Yeah.
Think about it. So what was your journey into to Top Rank Boxing?
Kind of this similar to her. I knew Stokes from working at the Wynn. And then maybe like 2 or 3 years after I stopped working there, as well as she stopped working there, she reached out to me because they needed
some melanin.
representation.
They needed some melanin.
Yeah, they did. And then, so I did my trial fight. My first fight was the Crawford fight in Omaha. And then I think it was probably 3 days into it, she was like, do you want to be an official knockout? And just from there, I've been working for them since 2016, I want to say.
So what are your official duties?
I'll let you answer.
We were just talking about that before we
Yeah.
got here. We're like, what do we say?
So I want to say that most people kind of judge ring girls and they think that we don't do anything, and they're like, oh, you just hold a card, and it's like, no, that's not it.
We are really lucky because Top Rank has us be a part of the entire event. So that means from like Tuesday through Sunday. So we're with the fighters at their, their outreaches and all their community service events, and we do our own meet and greet. So it's kind of just like
We're part of the brand. So honestly, we do have
the
our
hype
own,
of it and
yeah, I feel like
promotion
that's
and
for any combat sports. Well, I mean, I guess mainly UFC and some other boxing promotions. They have girls that they've kept around, and you build a fan base off of that too. But aside from those duties, I feel like it started at the beginning that they hired us, because she hired specific girls that liked boxing and liked the sport and were very personable, and we both have a pageant background, and so do some of the other girls. So she was finding girls that
understood it.
Yeah, and would represent Top Rank
Yeah.
anyway from the beginning. So I feel like we're part of the brand. But we do a lot of meet and greets.
We do so many things. That's why I was like, it's very hard to
it's like,
explain.
well,
but
you're real like ambassadors, and so Christine is calling me. So
I'll go get.
I'm gonna
Is
give
she
you,
here?
yeah, I'm gonna give Quan my phone, so that way you can help her. We are live downtown Las Vegas. Producer Quan is going to go and get the third member of the show today, Christine Stokes. So. Your pageant background has been so much part of your story, Tiana. And tell me about, what was your platform? What did you decide? Because I'm not too familiar with
right.
the pageant world, but
Yeah.
I do know that each of you have to have a platform.
something to
Yeah.
represent. Yeah. So mine was healthy body, healthy mind.
Mhm.
I was very focused on kind of educating students, mostly elementary and middle school age students, on mental health awareness and how physical activity can help improve that if
Yeah.
they were struggling, or just kind of maintaining it, because that's kind of what my fallback always was as I was an athlete through, elementary till college, hence the knee brace.
Yeah, there's real science behind that. Hi there,
Yeah.
Christine. Come on in. There's real science behind the power of exercise and mental health. And so, is that something that you looked at, or?
It's something
How
that
did
I grew up in a very athletic family. I have three brothers. My father was a football coach my entire life. So that's just something I had instilled in me.
Yeah.
And I think being in this crazy world nowadays, you need something to kind of help you maintain. So,
Yeah.
and being surrounded by boxers, that's,
Do you get inspired by them?
oh my
Like,
God. Have
do
you ever
guys
taken a
want to,
boxing class
like,
before?
I have, and I ain't ready for that.
No, I wasn't. I took
I ain't ready.
I took 5 minutes of a 45-minute class, and I was
Yeah.
done.
It's a phenomenal workout, but I feel like you got to be in shape to do it.
Mentally,
Yeah.
actually. I was like, I have so much respect
Yeah.
for them. So I know a lot of them do rely on boxing as their form of therapy and,
Now, you have been in the MMA world and in the boxing world. Do you find there's crossover in terms of the type of athlete, Stephanie, that is drawn to both of those sports?
No, I mean,
Them guys, are they the same?
I feel
Yeah.
like they're very similar. They're very dedicated, and
Yeah.
they're both very tough sports to be a part of.
is there
So,
one that's more
Yeah.
intense? Like, is MMA more intense?
I feel like MMA is pretty intense
Like,
because you
they're
have to
crazy.
know several different
You've
skills.
got to
You have to know
finish.
groundwork
Yeah.
and your stand up. So I mean,
And you
yeah.
can get beat in so many different ways too
Right.
in MMA.
Yeah.
right.
See, I know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let's
if
see.
I
Start
was to
watching
choose a
it.
sport, I would go with boxing.
Yeah, like personally, right?
Yeah,
Instead of
kind of-
MMA, like you definitely like gonna end up on the ground.
I would be
at
choked
some
out
point.
within like
You
2
said you have to
seconds.
finish? You said you have to finish
Yeah.
it?
Well, that's the goal, is
Oh.
that you have to like finish your opponent, and ideally the ref determines if the opponent is finished, so
Finished?
that way they get you up off of them if there's not a clear knockout, if you're not knocked out. But like the goal is to finish you. It's not like boxing where they're trying to accrue points and win
Right.
rounds.
Yeah.
At some point, there's still some of that, but like you
Mm.
want to finish. Like, we were there today, and the two women who are fighting for the championship. That fight's going to be just as violent as the men's fight.
Hey,
For
who's
sure.
fighting? I don't know about
Yeah.
this event, but
Yeah, well, we have Israel Adesanya, although I know I'm mispronouncing it. And we're just
Yeah, I
did you
can't
figure it
remember.
out? It's like Edison.
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
We'll just call him Alessandro, right?
Yeah, and Yoel Romero is for the middleweight championship, and then you've got Weili Zhang and Yoyana J. I'm not going to say the last name for the women's strawweight championship, and so it's going to be a whole big violent night.
That's something I need to educate myself a little more on.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, but watching people's heads get split open is not for everybody, right? So what's the hardest part of your job in that respect?
Ooh, I think we both could agree to the one incident that happened not long ago. I feel like that's the hardest. Hard to watch it and
What happened?
What happened?
Talking about last year, right?
One of our boxers unfortunately passed away during right
Dadashev.
after the fight.
Yeah, you were there at the Dadashev fight.
Yeah.
So watching it, we were like, "Oh, this is fine." Like we honestly didn't even know why they called it. We're like, "Oh, but he looks fine." I mean, maybe I understood why they stopped it, but he looked fine.
Yeah,
And
he
then to
looked
hear,
Well, he even walked out of the ring.
Yeah.
and then to hear the next day, so it's just
No,
very.
he didn't walk out. He was pulled out on a stretcher, right?
No,
Well,
he
he
walked
walked down the
He
steps.
barely made it out of the arena. Then he collapsed.
When they came to get him, he was like barfing there. Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah.
So that's like the worst part of it. I don't want to gloss over that and sound insensitive,
Sure.
but you can't ever prepare for that.
No.
Like,
No.
it just
Because there's so many injuries that sometimes even they don't even know they have.
Mhm.
So they're just making it worse.
Yeah.
So it is unfortunate of something to happen.
Now, funny stuff happens too. So I was in at the Cosmo in December, and that was the Oscar Valdez card, and
Yes. Okay.
so Bob was hot as fish grease because Oscar's opponent missed weight by like
I was
11
mad.
pounds.
No, you know what's wild is he said in all of his years he's never seen that ever.
11 pounds,
Like
man.
1 or 2 pounds,
Yeah.
that's rude.
Right.
But 11 pounds, like what?
was
I
like-
still want to know why.
Well,
I'm still upset about it.
Well, I looked at his, like, they have the weight checks, the 30-day, the 2 weeks. And so he had a couple of weeks where, like, he was, like, barely overweight. Clearly, he was taking something. So when it came time to get in that window where he would be tested, he stopped taking it, right?
Couldn't
So,
lose the weight. Then.
right, couldn't lose the weight.
I
Body
just thought maybe
stopped
he didn't want to fight
metabolizing.
him. That was their way of saying like I don't
Yeah.
want to fight, But that's
Shoot.
embarrassing.
Well, Bob was throwing him out. Get him out of here.
Upset.
And I was standing actually in front of you, and so it was happening behind you, and I saw you kind of looking like, what's going on? Like, you know,
when I was on stage.
yeah, you were on stage, and so your job, I mean, you guys are part of the marketing team, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to like sell the fight, and you're being as calm and professional as you can.
Yeah.
What are some other times when like something like goofy is like happening around you?
Stephanie has fallen out of the ring before.
Oh
off the
yeah,
ring.
yeah. No, I have. I've fought that. Are you talking about weigh-ins or?
Oh,
I've literally fallen down steps before, but in my defense, the steps were like this wide,
Oh no.
in front of like thousands of people.
Yeah.
I just played it off and went in the back and hid
Oh
for a
my
good hour.
God. Were you hurt?
Actually, yeah, no, my butt hurt really bad. And even,
man.
my butt hurt.
yeah, no, it did. I think honestly that they all apologized to me afterwards because they're like, those steps are very dangerous, and I think they knew.
Like if
they
you
could get in
fall,
trouble.
the fighter could fall too,
Yeah.
right? Hello,
Hi.
Christine Stokes has joined us. Christine, I see you sometimes in the ring. They kind of like pull you in on it, but that's not your main role as a
No, not at
top
all.
rank knockout.
That's just for fun.
Fill us in on what your role is.
Well, I guess you can call me the curator. I actually founded and developed the whole Ring Girl program for Top Rank. So I named them, designed the outfits, everything, hiring, scouting.
So you
Yeah.
heard the cats, right? So you're responsible for the schedule. Because how many
Yeah.
knockouts are there?
Well, we have a solid 4 that we use, and then I rotate in or out like an additional like 4 to 5 girls between here
Yeah.
and New York. Yeah.
So Tiana and Stephanie, you guys mostly on the West Coast? Or
No.
Go wherever.
She switches it up all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
why do you switch it?
Well, originally I was basing it off of like where we're gonna be and kind of like to meet, the fans. But nowadays I just kind of just do it based off of all of our schedules and try to make sure everybody has a fair amount of time on each. I don't want to overwhelm like so many of the same girls going all traveling East Coast. I want to make sure I like give them some
It's
opportunity to not.
exhausting.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it
I
is very
bet.
exhausting.
Yeah.
And I travel to all of them, so
Yeah.
I'm always
That's true.
Wow.
traveling. So I just try to split it up against them to keep it fair. Keep it
mean,
fair
the
mostly.
travel wears you out too, because when you get there, you're on. Like you guys, unlike the fighters, you don't get to warm up. Like as soon as you're out in the public, like that's when you start working.
And you can be having a
correct?
bad day, but you have to smile
Yeah.
the whole time.
Right. Like, have you ever had like one of those days and like fans are just walking up on you?
Oh, yeah.
Often, and often have.
I'm
y'all
just
better
gonna
be
say no
nice.
comment because
Y'all
I
better
see it and
be
I'm all
nice.
I give the crazy mom eyes. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like,
Right.
I think
Y'all
that's
better be nice.
to your question, like one of some of the hardest, more difficult times. I think that is because they're so excited to be there, and I get it, and we're part of it. But like the personal space issue that we have with some fans,
Right.
they're just so excited and they want to take photos, but
Yeah.
they need to reenact every day as like a happy day every day because
Groundhog
they're already
Day.
into it. You know, where fight week is 5 days for us, including the travel days, and then you go and you
Okay.
have 1 day as a press conference, so they have to have game face on,
Yep.
and then they have to have we usually do an adventure. One of those nights where we go out and we hit the streets and like something about like the Philly cheesesteaks and go do something like that. And then we also have the weigh-ins or a community event. So they're always on. So fight night comes around and they are tired, but they do an amazing job of maintaining composure. And
think
we
the
have
energy of the
to
crowd,
check each
too.
other too sometimes. Like everybody, everybody's coming at different angles. We're females. with
Sometimes you might
hormones.
be hungry.
So
Straight
hangry.
up. Yeah, just straight hangry. That happens, right, Quan?
Yeah,
yeah.
Quan knows.
for sure.
Speaking of hangry, like when I'm at this, by the time I get here, I've already had like 5 or 6 different types of jobs that I've had to do. And so
Exactly.
I'm always hangry when I roll up in here. So I brought snacks today, but these
I
are
see that.
strategic. There's a reason for these snacks. So we just had the Tyson Fury fight. Perhaps the biggest fight of the year in terms of build up. Don't know if Fury Wilder 3 is going to be as
I heard
extravagant.
the rumor that it is.
Yeah. Well, no, I've heard it is, but I don't know if it's going to be such a huge kind of run up to that fight. So we'll see.
I don't
Got
think
it.
this year.
But I brought these snacks to represent top-ranked champions, right?
Oh, okay.
And we're
Very
going to
cool.
decide like who's the best champion based off of the snacks that they people represent, right? So, and because I am very conscious of sharing germs, I ain't really down with that.
Thank
so
you.
I brought these cups. So
Coronavirus.
like y'all can right, Corona, Morona, Bologna. I don't want none of it.
And I sprayed Lysol before the show,
Thank
and
you.
on the back it says kills Corona SARS
Yeah.
in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
What?
Corona
So-
SARS.
Yeah.
yeah.
People
It
still
had
get
all
SARS?
this stuff on the back that it kills in 30 seconds and then 2 minutes.
Oh,
I've
that's
never
good
looked
to
on the
know.
back of Lysol
That's
until
good
just
to
now.
know.
But
Yeah.
I heard Corona sits for 2 days.
So you
I
got to
don't
keep
know.
spraying it.
Wow.
I just
Yeah.
know that
No,
I don't want
you
it.
could have it and then like.
No, I mean, it
the-
sits on
Surface.
surfaces.
Oh.
Ooh.
So this is called fidgets or something like that. Let me see. I'm only gonna put a
Twiglets.
couple in there.
Twiglets.
Twiglets.
Those
and
are
this
Terrence
is,
Crawford's favorite.
These twiglets?
I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
just. I'm.
No,
I'm
she's
just
trying to
trying
guess.
Those are
this
is- Trying to
Tiafimos, and that's Lomachenko's.
see?
You already knew the
You
champion
already
names.
know. You
You're
already
on
know.
point.
So this is actually a
Just guessing.
British snack, and it's
Oh, so
got
it's fierce.
Marmite on it, which is like.
I
Oh.
love Marmite.
Okay, so Marmite, if some of y'all 80s babies might remember, there's a song about, is it the Men Down Under talking about like having a Vegemite sandwich?
Yep, Vegemite.
Marmite is like the British version of
Oh.
Vegemite. It's almost like fermented soy.
I'm taking a photo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm
Let's
gonna
pass
take
it.
one and pass it, and one and pass
Actually,
it.
I'm gonna get my phone. Let me get my
So
phone.
we're
Watch
gonna
the
try.
video, too.
It's a very assertive, earthy scent. I'm gonna say this right now. So I'm
Oh
gonna,
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna try to.
She didn't wait for
Oh
nothing.
my god.
Ready.
Actually,
Okay. I like Vegemite.
Ooh,
ain't
is this
great.
ASMR?
it could be. I'm gonna make Quan try it too.
Tiana watches those videos.
I do.
Now, Tiana, I know you like spicy food.
How do you know?
I saw your noodle video.
Yeah, I love spicy.
Mhm.
Oh my god, those are so good.
You like them?
Good.
I don't like them.
I have a whole thing of. I have a friend from London, and he gave me a jar of Marmite.
Really?
I just eat it on crackers.
Crackers or toast or something
It's
like
so
that.
bomb.
What is it?
Mhm.
The flavoring on this?
Yeah, it's like that dark
It's
brown.
got
stuff.
that weird
Wait, so who is this? Wait,
This is Fury.
Fury's favorite.
Oh,
So
Fury, okay.
it's kind of like if you cooked soy sauce
It almost
all the way
tastes burnt.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a
Tastes like my
it's
pizza.
very
when I make
syrupy,
pizza.
like soy.
I'm gonna have to steal those.
So yeah, you can have them.
It does taste. It does taste like burnt pizza.
You're right.
Every time I make a pizza, it burns.
Pizza, that ain't bad. Actually, now if I have that image in my head, burnt pizza, it might be more like. So I know Tiana is a spicy food fan. What
Me
about
too.
you,
No,
Stephanie?
no,
You
I
like
love
spicy food as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't like spicy noodles. I don't go for the noodle stuff that she eats all the time. But
How do you handle that on the road? Like, what are you eating on the road? Like, can you
that's
stay-
different because I usually try not to eat
I'm just
what I
gonna
really
touch,
want to
like,
eat.
my little cracker here.
Yeah.
So these are Ukrainian biscuits, and I think it's like almost like it's a biscuit.
Just ruined that one.
This is Loma's favorite.
I don't
Are you
know if
just
it's his
getting-
favorite? We're just getting snacks that represent.
Their country.
Mm-hmm. It's dry.
That's a cute game.
This is like an animal cracker.
Mm-hmm.
A dry animal cracker.
You want one?
Yeah, don't touch it though. You might have coronavirus. I'm joking.
Cool.
She's like,
So
I like these ones.
that one, I don't know. That's second to me right now. Right? I think that's second.
See, I like snacks like this.
Now,
Plain.
unless it was like in some banana pudding,
ooh, yeah.
I could see that in banana pudding. But you're not a banana fan.
I'm
Tiana?
allergic. No.
You're allergic to
allergic?
bananas?
Yeah.
Word? Are you allergic to anything, Stephanie?
No.
Men.
No, men.
Men.
What about you,
Sorry.
Christine? Christine, you allergic to anything?
I'm allergic to penicillin.
Oh, okay. Not any food. I just found out I have a mango allergy. Isn't that tragic?
Oh,
That
You
sucks.
You know what? I have a lot of
Tragic.
intolerances, but I'm not like where I want to die. Like avocado, I feel like sick when I eat those. Avocado and chicken.
Oh man, well I'm
Yeah.
vegetarian. I can do.
Wait,
without
so
the
this
chicken.
next
Me
snack
too.
is
Okay, so these are a chili corn snack. So corn, which champion do you think that represents?
Teofimo Lopez.
No.
Wait, why would you say Tio?
Oh, this
Tahini.
is
Spicy.
Crawford.
Mexican.
Yes, Terrence
Nebraska.
Crawford
Oh.
is from Nebraska,
Nebraska,
which
the
is
corn.
Cornhusker territory. I have a feeling I'm gonna like this one better.
I would have failed at
This
that.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
I can't eat corn either.
I'm not supposed to eat corn either, but I love
Bomb.
popcorn, corn like
Bomb.
that.
These are like they're
Corn
not
nuts.
corn nuts.
Corn nuts,
Are they
yeah.
corn nuts? What's it say?
They're corn nuts.
thing.
Don't worry, I'm not kissing anybody.
You
either.
like
Wherever. I got
Good.
these at what's it? Cost Plus World Market. So like they had a bunch of different ones. These are my favorite because it's got like it's a little bit of spice and a little bit of chili
I
on
just
it.
like how it all ends over here.
Tiana.
I'm gonna bring you some of these amazing nuts they have at Whole Foods, and they're like a bigger version of these.
Ooh.
Oh, or maybe they're broad
Is it
beans.
so
hot?
you'll,
broad
you'll
beans.
bust a tooth while you're doing
Is
it.
this a mukbang?
What?
Broad
Mukbang?
beans.
Mukbang.
Amazing.
You know what does that even mean?
I don't think I'm saying it right either.
What does that even mean? All right, so who's in the lead right now? Which champion you got? I got
Crawford.
TC.
Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You got
Crawford.
Tyson?
I like
Crawford.
Tyson.
Okay.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The
favorite.
snacks.
The snacks.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna make you pick your favorite. Like, so who's been the easiest champion to be around? Like, who's been like the most fun?
Terrence Crawford.
Crawford.
Yeah.
And well, do you consider Tio?
Teofimo.
I would say, well, yeah. Also Tyson though, he's a different experience because he's so much more of a higher
Outgoing.
caliber.
I like
Yeah.
his energy.
His
Like,
energy,
we don't.
but we
greater
don't
than
really
life.
get to get as close
Yeah.
normally with the as we do with the other fighters.
Why is that?
I think it's because they just
They handling him more.
they have him. He's
very
like
busy.
surrounded, and
Yeah.
then we're like, "Hello, we're here," and he did actually interact once. I was like, "Can we please get a photo?" He's like, "Okay."
Right.
We had to do it, but other than that, we have to I have to literally go in there and interject and make sure they're in there getting photos and stuff like that.
right.
Because you have the PR from the UK that comes in that wants to make sure he's getting all these different things taken care of. Then you have our PR guy, and then they just kind of just forget to do us. So I have to just interject them in things.
So part of your job is to make sure that you guys get kind of what you need because the marketing is part of your job, right? So the photos and those moments that you have with the fighters,
Yeah.
those are important things, right?
Yes.
What's been the most difficult part in terms of dealing with a fighter and making sure that you can get your job done?
It's mostly just. How can I say this without saying it?
that their team.
Well, it's mostly like they're men, and they don't want to be seen with beautiful women, such as the
They don't want no
knockouts.
problems,
And
right?
exactly.
get
So
it.
a lot of times they
What do you mean you get
would
it?
just
No, I'm saying. I'm just saying I get it.
yeah.
they just stay away because it's more like I'd rather just not deal with it. even though it is
They
just
don't know
our
how
job,
to act, or they don't want like problems.
they just
at
don't
home.
want problems down the. I don't want to say that, but yes, they don't want any problems related. So, I saw Tyson with so and so.
How do you handle that then? Because let's say, like Terrence Crawford, his wife is adorbs, right?
Yeah.
Like super adorbs, right? Confident woman, but you got to get your job done. Like, how do you like
That's
manage?
just it. We have to
I think
get our
it
job
depends on the
dynamic of the
about, though. Like
relationship.
we're very friendly with his wife.
Yeah.
And we've made it clear that we're like, hey, we're your friend.
Right.
Like we work for Top
Yeah.
Rank too. We
Yeah.
don't want your husband or we don't want your boyfriend.
Right. Well,
You know,
she's
like-
very confident and
Yeah.
she's like approachable. There's
Mhm.
some that ain't. There's some that ain't
Yeah.
so friendly.
Yeah.
I usually fill it out a little bit first.
Okay.
Yeah, like if it's something, or I'll ask prior.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of get, and as we've been on the road for so many years now, there's some relationships that we're able to grow and feel comfortable and confident to hang out with, and not hang out with, but we know what kind of relationship we have.
Right.
We can go take a photo. We can, do it on the air, off the air. We're cool. And then there's some where you just know not to even worry about trying to get a photo with.
This was the
bomb.
chili chocolate.
Chili
Oh,
chocolate.
it's chili chocolate. Okay, can I have a piece?
That's why. Oh, you
You
didn't
didn't
have
even
it?
try it?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
It's a little weird.
It's
So-
amazing.
I like it, but
I
it's
got that one. At first,
was
I'm
this
like,
for?
this is some punk chili because it wasn't really hitting me. But
no. It hit after.
yeah, man, that
Yeah.
chili gum in the back of your throat. I got this for Tio because it's kind of American, although
yeah.
Teofimo is from Honduras, but he represents the BK.
Brooklyn. Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's got, that little spice to him,
Mhm.
right? So, do you have a funny Teofimo story?
He was our ring card guy assistant before.
Oh yeah, he helped us out.
He helped
one
the girls
time.
in and out of the ring and handed them the cards and everything.
What,
Really?
car-
There,
what
yeah.
card was that?
We were
It was
at
in
the
Vegas.
Cosmopolitan
Yeah.
at the Chelsea.
So that was to been Oscar Valdez. No. He
Oh,
wasn't here for that.
I wasn't at that one.
You weren't
That's
at that
funny.
It was last year.
Yeah, it was before.
Oh god, I everything is referenced to my phone. I have to look at my phone for any kind
Good,
of
right,
dates.
Gianna?
I need some wine with it
It-
to really bring out the flavs.
Bring out the flavors, like some red wine, some Merlot. I know
Yeah, it's
jack
very
about
good.
wine, but no. What did you think, Stephanie? Are we this chocolate?
I
Teal's
like
cool.
it. I
Yeah.
like what he said. It hits you after,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's not spicy enough for me.
They've had some
I like it.
chocolate chili
Have
with
that at home.
pop rocks in it.
No,
I think I had that one.
I liked it.
no.
I'm
Yeah, it's
all
like
about the
one
dark
of my-
chocolate and the chili and the
This
spicy.
is dark chocolate. Like,
Yeah.
this would be, this might sound weird. This would be a good hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
This
Right.
would be-
Like a little
have to
bit of
try that.
chili and like.
Add some Kahlua or something.
We're like
So-
espresso
so-
martini with
Yeah.
the chocolate.
So the
Might be wrong.
knockouts are making sure that we don't forget the wine and the alcohol. So when
Lot
you're
of wine.
working, like y'all are incredibly fit, right? Do you have dietary restrictions? Like when you're working all the time. It's not like you can be like, oh, I can cheat because like you're working all the time.
I would say I'm hungry during the week only because we're in the two-piece and we have several two-pieces that we interchange. Excuse me. So we deal with a lot of bloat if we eat the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Especially after flying.
get
too.
bloated?
I eat pizza
Coming?
every day. I don't know.
Are you're not
stay
perfect.
bloated.
Get out of here.
No, I'm conscious of what I eat too. Yeah, so no pizzas, no
Oh.
breads. Yeah, I
Sorry.
know. But I'll eat a lot of protein.
I like pizza a lot.
and-
It's about discipline, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're cracking some jokes about it, but
Yeah.
you do have to be disciplined. This is the type of job that you have, and it's what you signed up for,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Definitely.
I try to be disciplined.
Mhm.
Because we get to go to a lot of really
do
cool
a
places.
lot of really great dinners.
Come on, give me
Yeah.
that chocolate.
Oh, it's
Oh,
right
where
here.
is it?
Oh, she took it.
The Marmite sticks.
Marmite, here you go. Marmites.
Right, and we work out when we're on the road too.
So do you bring
You wanna try that?
exercise bands or anything like that with you?
I
or
do
you
those
do?
booty bands.
Oh, no, I don't know about the booty band. Tell me about the booty band.
Yeah, the ones you put across your thighs. What are those called?
Oh, those are the ones
They're
that
called
like,
booty bands, aren't they?
I think-
Is it?
That's
Yeah.
a lot, sorry.
Resistance bands. Yeah.
one of Quan's favorite songs is that booty, 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 booty
No,
everywhere.
that's-
Yeah.
So, Quan, maybe you could play that song while you're using your booty band. There you go.
Gotta get a booty
Um,
band.
I'm looking out. I want to get a booty band. I have 2 young kids, and so I kind of, I'm in a different phase of life in terms of wanting to use a booty band. I just like want to have hot food sitting down every now and then. That's my thing. But I'm gonna look into the booty band because you
Yeah.
can sit down and do it.
Yeah.
I want that lazy
Mhm.
exercise.
Or you can even use them on your arms too. So like you Just pull it apart between your arms.
I saw this new contraption on Instagram, and it was. Oh, you remember the thigh?
Yeah, that's what
With
like
the thigh
Susan
mat?
Summers
I have
like
one of
has
those
those.
still.
A
But they
Thigh
have a
Master.
new
I have a
one,
thigh
and it's a
master.
small mini one. Did you see it? I was like, I'm gonna get
Yes.
that.
And it like lifts like
great.
it works like the
Yeah.
outside like curve
Yes.
of your booty.
You could be sitting here
Yes.
right
And
now
it's
doing
small.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. You could be in traffic.
I know what exercise.
What? What were you
Hip
gonna?
thrusters?
I know what exercise you can do sitting here.
Oh well, yes.
Oh yeah.
We're
all
Any-
doing that
any
anyway.
woman who is watching this, it is International Women's Month.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
we
it
have
is.
an all-girl show
It
today.
is.
We're
Thank
gonna
you,
say
thank you.
we're gonna say Quan is on the outside because there's like a line of demarcation right here. So the real
Aw.
show is on this side of the table. Like,
And
that's the other thing. You know, so speaking of International Women's Month, what do you say to people who criticize kind of like your line of work? You're beautiful women. It's basically hate and shade, right?
Sure.
How do you, if you, I always say if you don't have haters, you ain't trying. You need to work a little bit harder. So, what do you say to your haters who take issue with the fact that your primary job is just to look attractive? It ain't like you weren't born that way, but still.
Honestly, my go-to. I didn't always have this job. I had a really difficult past and a really hard upbringing. I worked
How so?
several jobs. Well, I grew up with one parent, and my mom worked several jobs, and then my sister, unfortunately, had a really difficult life as well. But I've worked several jobs to lead up to this. I've always wanted to model. It took years to get to this, and now I'm happy. So it's like you're gonna be mad at me for doing something that I'm very happy doing, and I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts, and it's not gonna last forever. So
Yeah, I
What
don't
are you-
I don't understand the position of a hater, to be honest.
yeah.
They don't
Um,
have no job. That's not even a job.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
I don't know what to say to them because this is what we do. I mean, if you meet the other two ring girls, Rachel and CJ, they are very accomplished in what they do as well as outside of it. So really, I just kind of think this is part of we're all,
This is your growth. This
Well,
is
you're
like,
all
brand
business
ambassador,
women.
model,
Yeah.
and then we use our network and just like
Do other
Christine's
things.
done, like she does other things outside of this. So,
Right, when we first started, we were still hustling and we were working waitressing
And-
jobs, and
and then I have
she does
Bob
a million
Aram
other
at Miss
jobs.
USA supporting me.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like part of the network and I don't know. I just don't know what to
This
say to
isn't
them.
the
It's-
only thing that we all
Well,
do.
what I
Yeah.
can say to haters is back the F up.
Yeah.
Like, go get your job.
yeah,
Can you even pay attention to haters though? Because
not really.
I feel like I
really
hit a
don't.
certain age where I don't even
I don't think I really
can't
understand.
even let it phase you.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
exactly.
I
Because
get,
some people give so much attention to their quote unquote haters that it's stopping them from doing anything, and it makes no sense.
yeah. My best friend
keep
calls
focused
me
on it.
naive because she's like, you can't tell these people are jealous of you. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't pay attention to that kind of thing. So
And it won't affect you,
know,
if you
yeah.
don't even know or care. You know?
yeah.
Michael Price says, y'all look like the first version of Destiny's Child.
Not the first.
You know what, Mike?
Oh, it might be.
Have a nap. Take a nap. Yeah,
Have
like
a nap.
Who's Beyonce? Take a
Have
nap.
a nap.
Christopher
nap.
Rhodes is saying it's International Women's Month. Did I say week? I'm sorry.
You said
um,
month.
You said month.
You said month.
Yeah, back up, Chris.
She said month.
He says the Bella Twins are getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame next month. Do y'all watch WWE at all?
I used to watch.
I used to when I was
What's
little.
I
that
used to
show on
watch
E with them? The
Oh,
The
Diva?
Bella
The
Twins?
Divas.
Oh,
Yeah,
Divas?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You ever want to like get involved in like a reality show or
I
something else like that?
swear someone reached out to me and asked me to do that, and I was like, I am not a wrestler. They asked me to be a diva, and I'm like, do you see my I'm pretty tiny.
That's okay. We have strength in
That's
your
all right.
arms.
Yeah.
Reality show. I think we've been approached about reality shows.
have.
Because I bet you got a lot of content.
Yeah, they never came to fruition. I don't know why.
Dating shows.
Yeah,
Too.
dating.
A lot of,
Who's single?
I am.
I
All
am.
of us.
All of you. Like, are you single because you just don't have the time or you just coming out of a relationship?
Oh, boy.
Depends. I'm single by choice.
Gotcha.
Kind of coming out of a relationship.
Same.
Yeah.
Coming out of
the
a
dating
relationship.
didn't work.
And it didn't work. Does the job make it too difficult? Because I would imagine you need a very confident.
Yeah, you know,
man.
these boys like to think they're like they can handle that kind of stuff until
Yeah.
that
Until
day
they
comes.
see it.
Until they see it and they see the fans and they see,
Mhm.
you know, the attention. So
And then they see the fighters. So now do they try to like measure? They try to talk smack like about boxing and boxers too. Like
No.
when you're dating
No.
someone. No,
I think
I
they,
think it
not
may
really.
be.
for the most
Not
part,
the ones
all
I've
of us
had.
stay in their lane because
Mhm.
we obviously we're around each other a lot, so we know
Mhm.
yeah.
a lot about each other. But we do a really good job of not fraternizing with the fighters and the teams and keeping them separate and making sure it's very professional. Which is, I mean, we really take pride in that because we don't want everybody, back in the day, ring girls were not,
Didn't have the best.
Which is why I understand why some of the wives, the girlfriends, or whoever may feel some type of way. But like I said earlier, we're part of the team. So, we're lucky to have that professional relationship with Top Rank as well, and the fighters and the teams and even some wives.
And we're respectful of everybody, and they're respectful of us. I mean, there are times where, people come and they try to banter and talk, I'm like the cheer mom. So I'm like, okay, guys, mommy's here. It's time to bounce. Like, if there's any trouble with people that aren't familiar with our team.
Mommy sometimes too, 'cause I'm like, gotta be out of here.
Like, that's why, I'm always on point for the most part. And everybody making sure we're just, we have each other's back. So
You travel internationally, right?
we have traveled internationally. We were actually supposed to go to China.
Yeah, and that was.
And I had to pull the executive decision prior to it actually going completely
Before them
quarantined until they announcing it. I was like, listen, we're pulling the plug on this whole
A
trip.
day before. We were like ready to go.
Yeah.
A day before. She's
Like,
like,
you had your
"Wow."
outfits laid out and everything.
Well, I had
We were
masks.
fully
I was
packed.
ready to go with
We
masks.
planned a whole 10-day
really?
trip in China. Like we planned a whole
man.
tour in China and had to cancel. I'm still waiting for money to come back from
man.
that trip. But yeah, I was like, yeah, pulling the plug, and then thank God we did.
It's affecting business. We heard from Dana White earlier this week that he's been planning for 6 weeks now, actually strategizing about what the promotion is going to do based on the coronavirus. Also, there's been fighters who are based in China who had to move camp multiple times because you can't get into the United States within 14 days of being in an affected country. And so you guys probably were like planning for this well before the general public was out there like getting water and toilet paper and stuff.
They probably were.
We were prepared for this, but at the end of the day,
anything coming up that you foresee being affected? Is Bob or Evan or anyone said anything?
We haven't heard anything, right?
we haven't heard anything, but we're actually, her and I are part of the crew. We're going to New York on Wednesday, so
And New York's getting
whose card is that?
that is Shakur Stevenson.
And
then Michael Conlon on the 17th.
Berlanga on that card too.
We have the 14th and the 17th. We have 2 fights that week.
That common fight is huge too. For kind of his brand in the United States. It's on St. Patrick's Day, isn't it? Or St. Patrick's Day
St.
weekend?
Patrick's Day.
On a
We
Tuesday.
did it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's
I'm
Day.
really hoping it doesn't get canceled.
Shout out to my friend
It
Stephen
won't get
Fader, who's
canceled.
been working hard.
Oh yeah, it's just communicating with Steven.
Yeah,
I'll have to send him a
that
photo.
is a good pal of mine. Yeah, I
Yeah.
told Stephen, I said, hello.
I will,
I know that
definitely.
common fight is really important to him, and I hope
Yeah.
that it's able. But you got to be safe first. You know?
Well, I'm hearing so many things about it. As long as we're washing our hands and super healthy, which we all are, we really have nothing to worry about as long as we're not like touching ourselves in the face and
Yeah.
And the ones
You
that
know.
are passing have underlying conditions. right?
yeah.
So-
Yeah, and I was telling people, look, I'm not even fist bumping. I'm just doing a nod. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
don't-
She was doing the foot kick.
Man,
you can-
like today, I'm not going to say the name, but a fighter actually like reached out to shake my hand, and I was like really coming out of my skin, like, damn, Gina.
You're like, let me pull out my gloves.
Yeah.
God. Like I literally like wasn't touching anything
Yeah.
like with that hand. I was trying to figure it all out. So now Tiana's got a knee injury though. You're saying that
Oh.
you might have to have your knee drained. What had happened?
Both of them. I
What?
was a middle blocker, 6th grade through college.
Oh wow,
So,
volleyball.
just a bunch of jumping. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
volleyball. Yeah,
Come on,
middle
tell
blocker,
them what middle
volleyball.
blocker is because not everybody
Oh,
knows.
sorry,
Oh,
volleyball.
you played golf? Oh.
Yeah, I love baseball.
How tall are you?
5'8"
5'8" without heels.
without.
Right. So yes, it sounds right. So you've had knee injuries pretty much all throughout.
Yeah, I've been dealing with it.
Man.
I know. I need to get them
So-
drained soon.
Have you had them drained before? That mess hurts.
No, they hurt.
Yeah.
I'm trying to heal it myself before I do physical therapy because I already been through physical therapy, so I know what to do.
Yeah.
It's just about doing it. I'm
Well,
lazy.
what to do? What do you do in your free time? Do you have? I mean, you've got sometimes there's like a week and a half in between fights or 2 weeks or so. What do you do, Tiana, with your free
What do
time?
I do
Yeah.
with my free time? Well,
you a Netflix binger
Yep.
or
because so Miss Nevada ended in January, so I wasn't really given a lot of free time all last year. So I'm really kind of just enjoying
Yeah,
where
and,
I'm at.
and you're single now, so
And I'm single
you have
and
to
I'm
give your time
enjoying.
up.
Yeah, for everyone that didn't know, sorry. Now you know. My mom or dad are watching this. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, Mama. She good though.
Shout out
She's
to
the
Mama.
same helping you.
Hey, mama. Yeah, so I'm just kind of enjoying my time with family and
Friends.
doing other bookings. Yeah, other projects and stuff.
And you guys are local, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
all three of
yeah,
you
all three of
are
us are
local. What do you do in the desert, Stephanie, with your free time?
You dig holes.
I was
Right.
aside from bury bodies.
There's no hiking. There's no hiking. You know.
No,
you go
I
to any
do go
Golden
hiking.
Knights games or anything
Yeah,
like
I just
that?
went
Yeah?
to a Golden Knights game
We're
with
just there on
her.
Tuesday.
Enjoy sporting events.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll go to UFC on Saturday if I
Ah,
can get a ticket.
hey Dana. Did you just see Dana out at a dinner or something?
Yeah, it's so random. I was at dinner last night with my girlfriends and he was right across from me.
Where'd you go?
I was at the Palms.
Oh, yeah, that's one of his spots. You know, the
Yeah.
Fertitas and the
Mm,
Maloofs.
Yeah.
And Christine, what do
Old
you do
stomping
when you've
grounds.
got like some time not to?
Well, I recently just moved back to Vegas from LA like a
Okay.
month ago.
Where in LA were you?
Right on Melrose and Crescent,
Okay.
like WeHo
Mm-hmm.
area. But on my off time, I have a lot of things going on. I am a host of a pageant called Miss Fabulous Las Vegas Beauty Pageant, as well as Miss Fabulous America pageant. I do that. I have a nonprofit organization called Project Fabulous. I also just am getting licensed for life benefits and planning. So I'm just doing a lot of things because I know being in the
What are
pageant
life
world,
benefits?
it's setting up for your future, like having like living benefits. I don't like to say life insurance because it's so much more than that, but being in our industry now that we're freelance, because I'm coming from a corporate world where I had everything taken care of, and now stepping out of it and having to figure out how to have my own health benefits, you know, my retirement funds and all of that, and making sure my family's taken care of if something was to happen to me. So, and being a mentor for a pageant, I've just decided, I was like, oh my God, this is something that everybody needs to know to either to do it or be a part of. It's also passive income for me. So that's what I'm doing right now. And besides working out, which I love working out, being a mom, and my
How
brother
old
is
is your
super
kids?
in the industry, the race world industry and the dirt industry. So I was just out at the Mint 400 outside here in downtown.
Oh, you said
Yeah.
the dirt industry. So
Yeah.
you're talking about.
So I'm just saying, like, everything I do when I'm
Race
not
cars.
working. Yeah. So there's like just a lot
Yeah.
of things. I'm just constantly doing something in relation to whether it's boxing, doing sponsors, you know.
Yeah.
There's so many different things going on, but I'm finding that my biggest challenges is actually focusing and, you know, following through and
that's what
getting it
happens
done.
when you're super talented. Right? So,
Well, I mean, it's like a shiny penny syndrome. You know, like everybody's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, Stokes, come do this. Oh, Stokes, we need you here." And then I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, like I need to figure out which is going to be, first of all, be the best for our family and whatever, you know, and prioritize and then figure it out that way. But yeah, I do a lot of things.
now you said you're a mom.
I'm a mama.
How
Yes.
many kids you got? How old?
2.
How old?
Well, I have one 8-year-old
Uh-huh.
and a 22-year-old.
Oh my gosh, you got
Yeah.
a grown
Like
person.
a man.
Yeah,
Man.
man.
Like a man, yeah.
Is the youngest a girl or a boy?
I have 2 boys.
And what do your boys think about mom being such a complete badass? You know, especially the
Thank you.
oldest. Is he
Thank you.
trying to check you now and like make sure
We
you're
have
okay?
full on like friend, like we're like best friend
Mhm.
conversations.
Yeah.
He checks me all the time.
Yeah, like mom, where are you going? Somebody know where you're at.
Now they don't check on me that
No,
bad.
no.
I always come home.
Well, that's good.
No, they don't really. The oldest checks me all the time. It's because he's just so mature and so patient.
Love Ethan.
Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
and he like helps out with the girl. Like he was working the Fury fight with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's
It's very mature.
very mature.
Oh, that's
So
what's the
it's-
hardest part of being a mom and doing your job?
The traveling,
Yeah.
being gone, but I've come to embrace it. So now it's like, oh, it's mommy time, kind of. It's kind of mommy
Ooh,
time.
I need to look at it that way.
Yeah, because you know, you figure like technically I'm still working there, but we do the best we can to make sure we get in some fun things. Like I was saying, like adventures and, you know, visiting people. I mean, we love New York. We're there like 3 to 4 times a year.
Yeah.
So that's like a mini vacation. I often bring my kids with me because I'm
Oh,
like,
that's nice.
yeah, so my little one and my oldest have both been to like Macau.
Uh-huh.
I didn't take them to
You're a cool
Australia.
Yeah, I know. You're like, your
love
kid's
that
mom
life.
got a cool job. Hey, Quan, can you give out the call number?
702-608-3259. Jeremy was trying to call. He was on hold and he
Oh.
hung up.
Ooh.
He
I
got
wanna-
scared. He got
Like-
scared.
Yeah.
Can you tell me that number again? Because I'm gonna.
702
Oh, you're going too fast.
702. Oh, is actually not a number.
Oh, it's 0.
702-608-3259. And we have Jeremy back on the line.
Oh,
Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy Long.
Oh my God.
You're out in those streets.
Oh my gosh.
What's happening?
Look at this, man. Look, I leave the show for a day, and all of a sudden you fill up the studio with beautiful women.
Yeah, it's your,
You know,
your fault. Your loss.
Shame.
Yeah.
You're killing me, Cece. You're killing me, Cece.
You know, normally Jeremy's actually sitting where Tiana is, but I think we all would agree that she's doing a better job of occupying that seat, my friend.
Well,
there
okay, you don't have to put it out like that, but yes, 100% she's doing a better job than I ever did. You
What's
know
your
what?
question?
But before you guys go, before y'all go, and before you say goodnight and everything, I gotta know, do the ladies possess any kind of hidden skills, any kind of hidden secrets that we need to know about? Do they beatbox? Do they anything like that?
I just know how to juggle.
I gotta know, man, because
Okay.
I know
That's
it's.
Juggler,
I know it's
hockey
not just
stacker.
standing behind the fighters looking pretty, even though I like that. Who's got the special skills?
I guess I can paint and draw. I'm trying to learn piano, and I can make a whole bottle of wine disappear.
He's a magician.
Ta-da.
Yeah, Stephanie
I
is a magician. Tiana, you said you can juggle.
I can juggle.
Where-
That's my.
Who taught you how to juggle?
I was in 3rd grade and I won a competition
Okay.
for yo-yoing and juggling.
Yo-yoing.
What was your talent in the pageant?
Singing.
What song did you sing?
Oh, someone asked me that the other day and I couldn't remember.
Probably an Ariana.
No, I think it was Alicia Keys' Superwoman.
And Aria.
Well, we're going to have you sing that right now.
All right,
Bye.
put the song on.
I want to hear it. I want to hear a few bars.
Yeah.
Row, row, row your boat.
Come on, she has a great voice.
Thanks,
She's
guys.
actually
Maybe in
really
April we'll have you sing the American anthem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepare for that because I'm going to ask.
Oh wow!
Man.
So,
We'll be here in April.
Now, what about you, Christine? Hidden talents?
I don't know what you consider a hidden talent because I don't know.
She's like, they're not hidden.
They're not really hidden.
Not hidden.
They're
Super
not really
well.
hidden. I
All
just
right,
do a lot of
all right,
activities in general.
Final question. What's the most bougie song y'all get down to?
bougie.
Yeah.
Bougie.
Is bougie or like ghetto? Not ghetto.
Yeah.
Ratchet.
Ratchet.
Want to do ratchet?
Ratchet.
Yeah.
Like
What's
clubby,
what's
clubby, baby.
Like
clubby.
some Meek Mill.
some Meek Mill?
Meek Millie.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been on Meg the Stallion lately.
Ooh.
And Lizzo, that girl power.
Yes,
all
yes,
those anthems.
All I know is when
Josh,
we're in the
you-
gym working out. I'm a runner. She's a walker.
I'm an
And, like,
uphill walker,
see-
first of all.
You're uphill walker. CJ's
Get that
doing
right.
like handstand, like twerking things.
is, yeah.
Rachel's doing
CJ's
like
twerking?
jump squat. I don't know. And then Tiana's like just, we're all like so we all do so many things, and we're all very athletic. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you always athletic? Well,
Oh,
you were
wow.
for certain. Like Stephanie.
Seriously, I was. I've always been pretty fit. My family unfortunately never got me involved in any sports. I wish I would have.
Well, your mom was out there making sure you
Yeah.
had food to eat.
Yeah.
she,
Yeah, I was at home on the computer.
she couldn't bring you. Like Jeremy, like any other questions?
you know what?
Silly
I don't want to say anything too much, but CC was in the Gold Digger video, and
Kanye West?
I just gotta.
She was.
Oh.
Yeah. You were in the
what?
Gold Digger video,
Pulls it up.
and
What were you
I'm
doing?
pretty proud of that. And you guys did a
I'm really good
fabulous
at dancing
job
on
tonight.
tables. Like I can dance on a
Yeah,
table.
she's really good.
And
this
not
one
fall
can
off.
dance on a table.
But my table dancing
Okay.
days are kind of like behind. I don't know if I still got that equilibrium, but like
They right
it
in
might
front of
be.
you, girl.
It might
They
be
right in
muscle
front of you.
memory. It might be muscle memory, and I might just be able
got
to
that
pull it
balance.
off.
So what
Yeah.
part of the video were you in?
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
have-
can't.
I'm gonna go look up the video. Oh, you got it already.
Oh, that was fast.
Oh, she pulled
We're
up
gonna
quick.
find you.
She's
Fast,
ninja
like,
fast.
The Apple Music.
I'm just saying, I wasn't always their mama, so things happen.
That's super cool.
I had to like pay rent.
No, that's cool.
I get it.
It's acting. It's
Yeah.
like basically.
Well,
I mean, I think about all our hidden talents. I don't think they're even hidden because we just do so many fun
Yeah.
things that it's just like
I mean, Tiana and I are
Constantly.
comedians.
Medium.
Oh my God.
Okay. Who's
Oh my
who's the
God.
knucklehead of the crew then, Christine?
Out of the two that are not here.
Yeah. Of the two that are
Well,
not-
it depends on what you mean by
I know who.
knucklehead.
I know who.
It depends on what you mean by knucklehead. And it also depends on. So there's so many things, but there has been moments where all four, I would say all five of us. But once again,
She's like, I love them.
I watched them, and there have been some very epic moments. I want to say, and probably Frisco, Texas was my favorite.
Ooh.
Frisco, Texas, when we were running up and down the hallway after dinner.
Oh,
we went
Dallas.
to
Dallas.
Country Cowboy or something like that. We had a paid appearance at a local bar, and the girls were all. We had a
It was
lot
like
of
the
fun.
one time I got drunk after I won Miss Nevada.
Yeah, it was after. So it was like a celebration, and it was like it was
Now I
just
can
a
talk about
celebration
it.
of everything. And
What were you drinking? Was it tequila or was it
Everything.
vodka?
Everything.
Okay.
I'm a tequila drinker.
Shots,
Everything.
shots.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Yeah, but there was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of
That was
video.
That was
Video-
so funny. Some of the top
videotapage.
break team the next day, like the ESPN guys, they were like, "Were you guys outside of the rooms at like 4 a.m.?" We're like, "Maybe." We're like, "What floor are you staying on?" They're like, 9. We're like, "Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
us."
Yeah.
They
Running
were
up and down
literally
the
running
hallways.
up and down the hall. It was
Who's
just
gonna
the
tell the
funniest shit.
knockouts to stop making
No one.
noise?
No
Like
one.
nobody. So
No one.
like they just stayed in
Yeah.
their beds.
Hey, yo, we got another call. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your question?
My name is Scott Ogden. Mark,
What up? What up? You can't say
Oh,
my
he
real
said
name.
he called you by
Quan.
your
Can't say my
government.
real
I
name.
want, I want to see all
Marcus.
them women. I want to see all them women that have given you the greatest production tonight give you a big ass hug right in front of everybody.
No, we're not doing that. It's the coronavirus.
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
We're non.
What about
We'll give
a-
virtual hugs.
we will
Yeah, virtual hugs.
fist
There
bump
you go.
the crap out of you though.
There you go.
Air five?
Air five. Air high five.
Can I have a?
We would
Hannah?
give him a hug though if there was no coronavirus.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Quan, Quan
Mark is
like,
my brother,
out in the
but-
street. So
I love you, and I had to call in.
Aw.
Thanks for
That's
calling,
sweet.
Scott.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
well, that was nice.
Have a good
I
night.
love you, brother.
Sweet.
Love you
Love
too,
you.
man.
Love
And-
you.
Love you. I
Love you.
Is that your brother for real?
Yeah, that's my
Your biological?
stepbrother.
Your
Oh,
bro-
okay.
that's-
He said
That's
Mark.
why I said
Yeah,
Mark.
you call me my real name,
You
so
went
Mark? Who's
government
that?
on him.
Mark.
Complete
Didn't do the
government.
dishes.
So we are nearing our time. See, Josh then wandered in and like put his foot all in the program because you got another show coming up. You know. Oh, okay. You're gonna take some photos.
I feel like
yeah.
I know you.
Probably.
Did you go to UNLV? No, you didn't.
Oh.
Whoops, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong guy.
Were you in a fraternity? Okay, sorry, never mind.
Yeah, well, you
Never
know, he is
mind.
known to wear an ankle bracelet every now and then.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
That sucks.
So, two ankle bracelets at once. I didn't even know they did that.
What a shame.
I didn't even know they
And
did
a wrist
that.
bracelet.
Was he
Just
the
in
was he
case.
the homeless woman who had the ankle bracelet?
Yeah, he was.
The homeless woman. So before we let you guys go, what are you looking forward to this year?
Oh wow.
lots of great fights.
My first international trip is at the end of the month. We're going to Quebec, Canada. So I'm really looking forward to that. And
it's
then
not
Who's fighting
taken over
there?
by zombies.
Right.
From the
Who's,
Yeah, yeah.
who's fighting there?
Quebec. Oh my
I have no
gosh.
idea.
Hit
a
me
new
with
fighter.
these.
I think we just signed, but
Wait, we're excited for
Let me
it.
see.
Is Loma and Tio fighting?
Yeah,
No.
they're well. According to Team,
Oh.
TO, they're going to take that to BK.
maybe they
Oh,
might.
in New York.
where?
I want it to be here so bad.
To UK?
No. They're talking about
Oh, to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
If they,
yeah,
If they fight.
yeah. Hopefully, a play
So
fight.
you know, whatever big fights come this year.
We're happy,
Yeah.
happy to travel, actually.
Yeah.
Happy to travel. That's cool. Is there a fighter who's like you're closest with besides Terrence Crawford? Like one that you like see up and coming, and you just kind of like
I would say Tio.
wish good things
Tio.
for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tio.
he's a good kid. You
He's
know?
closer.
Really?
He's closer. He's closer to our age.
Yeah.
He's a very old soul.
Yeah.
And actually Terrence is too. Like as
Yeah.
you know, like they're very old souls and they're very sweet and kind and you know that I know for sure. We've been with Terrence from jump and
Since he
seen
had
him
his
grow.
baby teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing him grow has been. If you look back, and I look back, I'm like, oh my god, when we had no idea really too much about the boxing world, we were just in it just because we're like, we're the girls. In that. But now we like know and we grow and we see them, and it's a really cool feeling to kind of be
Yeah.
alongside with them as they do that. So with TO2, it's the same thing. We're like, wow,
and he started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Shakira's a little bit of a knucklehead, but he's
a knucklehead.
He's definitely a knucklehead, but I feel like Terrence is kind of like keeping him like on a short leash.
Yeah.
And making sure that he doesn't.
He was such a
too
sweet
far.
young man when I met him.
He's so very sweet.
He's sweet, but he shoots his shots, I will say.
Hey, how about Gabriel Flores?
Oh,
yes.
Just super sweet.
Yeah.
There's a kid. Excuse me. Dang, it must be that chili. I call him a kid, but I think he's probably like 25, 26. Edgar Belanga, who's on that card. Coming up.
Edgar.
Yeah, he doesn't. He hasn't
right
fought
now.
past the first round.
Yeah.
So, have you learned anything like about the boxing business as that might be surprising to people?
That's a good question.
Have we learned anything about the boxing
Something
business?
that's surprising? I feel like it's exactly how it looks.
Yeah.
And we've honestly, like Bob Arum,
They're a lot
is a
nicer.
legend in the boxing industry, and the fact that he and Todd have now grown from being such a mom and pop style.
So that's his son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now that they have given the opportunity, like we signed with ESPN, like we've just gone leaps and bounds into the industry, and like now we're at the forefront. And now look at everybody is now signed up with Fox and all these other things that we actually started. So we caught the first wave of it. So the fact that we could be such a mom and pop style thing, literally like 3 years ago, and then now we're at the forefront of this amazing, seeing that boxing's back now,
Right, so that's what's surprising. People always say boxing's dying. I'm like, no,
and
it's
it's
not.
not dying.
Yeah.
It's like right now,
Especially outside of this country.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. UK is like the followings over there are incredible. So I think the merging too of UK and the US has been great too. So hopefully we get to go to UK.
So we know that, Christine, you are a businesswoman, but you're all entrepreneurs in a certain respect. Tiana, what would people, if you could have your own business, pull one out of the sky, what would it be?
I think a lot of the work I did while being Miss Nevada, I think I would just probably be a speaker, to be honest, and go around to schools and kind of.
I know somebody. Let's see if we
Yeah.
can get you on stage.
Yeah, I
Do
think
it.
that would be more so my styles. Like I travel to different places, and we get the opportunity to do that. So I often even think about while we have our downtime in other cities and other areas, that maybe I'll even try my hand at doing that at different schools even out there, because I get a lot of young girls that are like, how can I become a model, and questions about self-esteem and all that kind of stuff. So I think that would be my lane.
I think that you're in that lane.
Yeah.
Stephanie, what about
really
you?
Well, I've always wanted to have a skincare.
Oh, you're so good. She's so good with that
Yeah.
stuff.
Like natural stuff, like you'd be like, hey, take this avocado.
Yeah, well, so nutrition and skincare and health and beauty, that's always been something that I wanted to do something with. And aside from that, I've always wanted to write a book about my life. And it would be a self-help book.
I would love to hear, actually. I'd love to read
I have
that
a
book.
crazy life story.
Your life. What is in your life story that you'd be willing to share that you think that people might
Honestly,
not?
pretty much everything, which it goes into like abuse, it goes into having one parent, it goes
Were
into
you
drugs.
born here?
From Illinois, Rockford,
From
Illinois.
So
Mhm.
you said drugs. Like, were you taking drugs or was it around you?
I mean, I've experimented, but no, my
Yeah.
sister and my father. So, yeah, I've had to deal with that, and then abuse in other terms. I'm very open about my life in general, because if I can help anybody from my story, that's what I want to do.
You've got a lot of courage and definitely a whole lot of strength. And so, like, I think anything when people attach something aesthetically, like, hey, these are a bunch of beautiful women, they're also women with depth. So, on that, thank you so freaking much
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
coming in.
Thanks.
This has been the best part of my week. So,
Thank you.
let folks know, Stephanie, where they can find you. Social media,
So
not at your
I-
house.
No, not my house. You don't want to come there. My Instagram is at @StephAnnCook. If you guys are interested in following me, that's where I am.
Yes.
Christine, where can we find you?
I am at Stokes Live. That's STOKESLIVE.
At Tiana Tuomahiloa, just type in Tiana and hopefully find
The rest will follow.
you know?
I still have problems spelling your name. I'm all
I know. Just go to their pages. and
I
find
know
me
that
there.
it's TUA, and then it just
Exactly.
like comes
Tiana
up.
TUA and it'll pop
so,
up.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you all for joining us. Levels, Jeremy might be back next week, might not. I don't know what he's doing.
Oh, no. He sounded like he had a little.
Yeah, he sounded like he had himself a full night already. So it's good that somebody had taken his keys from him. But we will be back next week debriefing UFC 248 and all the going-ons that happened there. And then also we got a couple of fights coming up, so we'll tease that. In the meantime, I'm Cassandra Cousineau, your girl, the Sportsnista.
Thank you.
Peace.